What's up, parties and hardos? Back
Well,
at it. Second episode of the week.
I
Spinny,
mean,
what up?
kinda. Is Sunday this week? I suppose it came out Monday. Monday is this week. I guess. Fine.
Yeah, wow. Know your days, Spinny. Come on.
I know. It seems like a new week already, but I'm just so excited for this episode. I can't get over it. We're gonna have some fun second in the MVP talks, given all the debate over Jokic's MVP, as well as some NFL rising and falling prospects. It's that draft time, y'all. So we're gonna get after it on that, and then some
Corey Hunter
trivia.
episode.
The Torrey Hunter episode, the Jimmy Johnson episode, the NASCAR GOAT. Got to give it to him.
Hey, let's not forget the NBA legend, Nazir Muhammad, who I just found out about today. Yet he played 18 seasons in the NBA. I don't know how the hell I just found out about him today.
Yeah,
But
I had no
Nazir
idea he
Muhammad.
existed either. But let's get a word from our always amazing Jack Donovan with this music here, and then we'll get to the best part of the episode.
That's always awesome.
Oh, we always love that. But now something we love even more than that is
so now we're not doing that, right?
Oh, sure. The classic Cop Out Nation over there. I just want to shout out Masai Ujiri and his amazing trade deadline GMing skills for this great bet. So, Jack,
I hate you, Masai.
It's time. It's time. It's that time of day.
It's time, y'all.
So let's get it. This is a YouTube exclusive, so it's pretty good. And if you're checking us out on audio only platforms, you got to tune into YouTube for this.
All right, I'm gonna now safely remove my AirPods. Make sure my phone and my laptop are clear. We don't run into any technical difficulties here. Man, this is the worst thing ever. All right, here we go.
Hardies and Hardos, this is so hilarious. I'm going to document the whole thing. He's opening up his Gatorade bottle right now. Is it full? It better be full. If it's not full, he's getting... Okay, it's full. It's full. We have document. And here we go. This is so... Let's get it, Hardies and Hardos. Come on! Yeah, you shouldn't be able to put a towel on your clothes, but fine. There it is. The whole thing. Yeah, more. No, the whole thing. Yeah. Oh, man. That's why we love being right about sports right there. We absolutely cannot even handle how amazing that makes. It makes it feel even better than being right, honestly, what I just got to witness.
Oh, man. I'm soaked.
As you should be.
Soaked.
As you should be.
Oh, my gosh.
What are you?
My towel is just drenched.
No, what did you say you are?
I'm soaked.
Oh, that's what she said, yeah.
Oh, my God. You're something. You are something.
Oh, sorry, Hardies and Hardos. My 7th grade self came out there for a minute. I had to get a good laugh in about that one. So now we'll bust
Does grab some paper
thing
towels
over there.
My damn laptop ended up getting wet anyways.
That's else. That's else.
We are going to start the Torrey Hunter episode off here with some headlines. Once I get semi-dried. Okay, here we go. The first story here. Pretty wild one, Spinny. Shawn Kemp was booked on an alleged drive-by shooting to only be released the next morning. Apparently that was definitely misinformation. That's not what happened. Here's the statement from his attorney. Late Tuesday evening, Shawn Kemp's vehicle was broken into and numerous items were stolen, including an iPhone. So on Thursday, he tracked his iPhone to an occupied vehicle in a shopping mall parking lot in Tacoma, Washington. He approached the vehicle in an attempt to retrieve his stolen property. Individuals inside the vehicle shot at him, and he returned fire in self-defense. So clearly not a drive-by shooting that was initially reported. This is clearly a self-defense situation, and why, as from what I've seen, they're not going to even be pursuing charges against Shawn Kemp. What do you make of this whole situation here?
I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, that's all I got to say about it. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know how I feel about him rolling up to that situation with a gun, but I guess,
Or alone too.
yeah, like, but
He is
also,
also huge.
also like somebody stealing his stuff just for him to come there and shoot at him. You know what I mean? Like he didn't know that. Like I would not have thought this happened to my fiance recently. She got her AirPods taken from somewhere, and I was like all for let's go show up to this place and find these things and do it up, but she took a different route than that. But I just never would have expected something like this, especially in Tacoma, Washington. I don't see that as a very different place than Minneapolis. So that's crazy to me.
Yeah, it is definitely wild. I'm with you. I don't know why he necessarily went by himself, but yeah, like I said, he is what 6'9", 6'10",
Yeah.
huge. You know, he's a
And would
big
you
dude. He
expect?
probably just
I wouldn't expect to show up on a bunch of guys with guns. That's not what
guns
I'm
and
expecting.
right.
And
Like I'm
willingness
just
to
trying to get
shoot
my
at
phone
me.
back. Yeah,
Yeah. Was this during the daytime? Do you know?
it was during the day too.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Who do I think is that I'm gonna roll up on is gonna shoot at me during the
In
day?
a in a mall parking lot,
In a mall, exactly, in a
in a
mall
public
parking lot.
space. Yeah,
So yeah.
crazy story. Crazy story. Initially, I was like, "What the hell, Shawn Kemp? You're just out here drive by shoot like you're
Yeah.
a gang member again, or like what's going on?" Obviously, that was not the case.
No.
So.
No.
Another
That was a
basketball
joke.
story. Jim Boeheim retired, one of the GOATs, 47 years of coaching, also 4 years of playing at Syracuse, too. So over 50 years of Syracuse basketball for Jim Boeheim. 35 NCAA appearances in 47 years, 5 Final Fours, obviously won the 03 title with Melo. He went 115 and 441 record. Absolutely incredible. Second most all
Whoa,
time
whoa,
wins,
whoa, whoa.
obviously.
Say that again. His record?
His record that I just said is already taken away the 100 some wins that he was vacated. It's 115 and 441.
So he has
A
300 more.
hundred,
That's
1,015.
okay. That's
Thank
why I
you.
was like, all
That's
right, all
why you
right.
were
You know
tripping.
what? Yes,
Yeah,
that's why I was tripping.
1,015. Yeah, which is second, obviously, behind Coach K. Longtime assistant Adrian Autry takes over. That's interesting to know because Spinny, we see this trend of longtime assistants taking over continued. Jay Wright, obviously, your boy. God, I'm drawing a blank on the guy that took over him.
Kyle Neptune.
Kyle Neptune took over for him. You have Hubert Davis taking over at UNC, John Shire at Duke, and so on. So it's a trend that we've been seeing. But do you have any thoughts about that?
Not yeah, it's interesting that the trend right now is disappointment, right? Like, is Carolina going to be the first one seed since 1974 NC State to
Is that what it is?
be? Yeah, that's the last time a preseason number one didn't make the tournament. So
They're not making it.
yeah, that's crazy. Nova's not making the tournament. They lost to Creighton last night in the Big East tournament, so that their season is done as well. Yeah, so I mean, right now it's not working out the absolute best for people.
Besides Duke, I guess. But.
Duke's doing okay right now, but also it makes it even funnier that Coach K lost in his last game to a team that's essentially the same as it is this year, and they didn't even make the tournament this year after being so good last year. I don't know. It just
Right.
makes it even funnier.
People do have to remember though that UNC team was an 8 seed in the tournament for a reason. They sucked
Yeah.
last regular season too. So
Yep.
I'm almost getting that fluke run vibes from UNC. Just given that they sucked both regular seasons.
Coach K got his career ended on a fluke run.
That's kind of what I'm thinking,
Tough.
right? Or I don't know. That is tough. All right, though. The last headline we have here is an interesting one. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it, and that's the Lamar Jackson situation. So, Spinny, I just want you to give me your opinion right away.
Why are
aren't
so many
teams signing
teams
him?
out? Yes. Why? I don't get it. Like, I get that you don't want to pay him 250 guaranteed for sure. But like that stuff came out an hour after the tag thing. Like, you're not even calling him? Like, Kyler Murray got 190 million guaranteed. Lamar has twice as many wins as him.
Yeah.
He has a passer rating higher than him. He's got more touchdowns than him and less turnovers per season on the turnovers. But it's crazy. He's also led his team to the playoffs multiple times and won an MVP. Like, that's the thing. If I'm in Atlanta, like, I call Lamar and I'm like, hey, here's 200 million guaranteed. We'll give you that 5 years, 250, 200 guaranteed, right? You're not going to give Lamar 10 million more guaranteed than Kyler Murray? Just blows my mind, honestly. And Washington? Are you serious? You got Scary Terry, you got a good running game, and you got a defense you really like. Like, you need maybe a second pass catching target and another DB. And Washington's like in the NFC, like, no lie, you hit a couple draft picks and you get Lamar, and they're Super Bowl contenders in the NFC. They have
Pretty much
top two quarterback with him and Hurts. Their defensive
they already got
roster
the
is
pass
great.
rush. Yeah.
They got the pass rush, and Scary Terry is a very productive wide receiver, along with their run game, which you add Lamar to. It's crazy to me that teams are not at least kicking the tires on this situation. That's what's so crazy. Is Tua gonna play? Miami's out. Is Tua gonna play again? Like, this man's one concussion away from never playing again. Like,
Literally.
these are teams that are out on him. That stuff is mind blowing to me.
I'm gonna kind of summarize this tweet here from Warren Sharp. I believe you saw it as well, Spinning on Twitter. He's a Fox NFL analyst. So he talks about the Kyler Murray, also talks about Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson. Aaron Rodgers getting 150 mil guaranteed at 38 years old. Deshaun Watson getting 230 guaranteed with 20 plus sexual assault allegations against him at that time. And there's a half dozen teams, most of which, obviously Falcons, Commanders, etc., have been terrible for these past years. They've posted terrible records last year. They've been cycling through quarterbacks every year, it seems like, and they can decide in less than an hour that they don't want a 26-year-old quarterback who's in his prime, who has already won an MVP, who is 46-19 as a starter. 46-19. 2019 went 14-2. 2020 went 11-5. 2021 he went 8-3 before he got hurt, and this past year he went 8-4 before he got hurt. So I'm completely with you. I don't get it. I have no idea why these teams aren't willing to take a chance at Lamar Jackson.
And obviously,
he's already proven.
Obviously, some of those wins are credits to the Ravens, right? Like the running game they established, the defense they had. But some of these teams have those things already. Washington has the roster already set up. You got Eric Bieniemy, one of the most creative, well, apparently not one of the most good creative offensive
apparently not, but
whatever. However you want to view it, a great production from the offense he was the coordinator of. And you pair him with Lamar, with everything, like, it's crazy. That's like a Super Bowl shot. It's just unbelievable. And it's not like this guy's, like you said, he's not 32. We're not giving him a 5-year from 32 to 37. This is 26 to 31. Yeah, the last year of the contract, you might get a little screwed on, but you're probably getting at least 4 good years of production. And that's why you do 200 guaranteed. Like, you can be like Lamar. Here's the deal. This Deshaun Watson deal is ridiculous. What's his name? Jimmy Haslam is the biggest idiot owner we've seen. We've seen the Browns production. Like, I'm sorry, we're not matching you that. But the next highest guaranteed is Kyler Murray. And you do have more of a, he's going to be like, I have more of a rep than Kyler Murray. He's like, yeah, you do. Yeah, totally. So here's 200 mil guaranteed. We'll give you the 5-year 250, 200 guaranteed, better than Kyler, highest paid guaranteed contract. That's not this ridiculous crap in Cleveland. And I just would have that conversation. I just don't understand not
at least have the conversation.
That conversation.
Yeah.
If he says no, I want 240 guaranteed, then I understand not wanting to do that a little. But also, if I'm Washington or Atlanta or Carolina in the history of losing that I have, why not take that shot? Or the Jets. Lamar Jackson is instantly the best Jets quarterback in 50 years. Instantly. 100%. Steps on the field, best quarterback you've had in 50 years. 50.
Yeah. I mean,
nuts.
To play devil's advocate a little bit here, I'll tell you the points the other people are making. So they talk about how the Russ, Kyler, and I mean, maybe too early to say this on Deshaun, but it's looking like those 3 contracts are ruining those teams already. Packers as well. They're obviously moving on from Rodgers already. So those are like some reasonings. And then the main reasons here, he wants $250 million guaranteed. He's injury prone, running quarterback. You have to trade 2 first-round picks to get him, and he struggled in the playoffs. So those are like, to play devil's advocate, those would be the points against wanting him. But like you said, at least have the conversation, at least sit down. I know he's representing himself, so it might be tough to negotiate with him, but his points are fair. Lamar's points are completely fair. I mean, you win over 40 games in 4 or 5 years as a quarterback, you should get paid.
If you don't have a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, you have essentially 0 chance of winning the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Like, literally, essentially 0 chance. And you have a shot at a guy who, at his worst, is a top 10 quarterback. Like, if you don't think top 12, if you don't think Lamar's a top 12 quarterback,
top 12 for sure.
No matter what you think of him, I don't respect your football knowledge. Like, I think it's ridiculous. So you have to know who you are as a franchise. I a little bit understand the Ravens not paying him. They have had some success, even with quarterbacks like Joe Flacco. So I get their history and that whole thing, not essentially wanting to pay him. But when you're the Jets or you're Atlanta,
the Colts,
disregard the Matt Ryan run, but other than that, they haven't done anything in 25 years. The Colts, I get a little bit. They've had Peyton and Luck. They've had good quarterbacks, but like, you're not going to be relevant with whoever you're going to start. And the Jets, I'm just talking about the Commanders. Have the Commanders been good in our life ever? Like, actually good?
No.
Not like the best we've ever seen them is like frisky win a wild card game. Good. That's it. That's the best they've ever been in our lifetime. So it's like, just know who you are. This guy is, I don't know. I get the risks, but where you've been for decades, when you haven't had a quarterback on Lamar's caliber in decades, I think I would consider overpaying for him. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Finish it off. I'll give you the stat here, Spinny. QBs in NFL history with 96 plus passer rating and 100 plus passing touchdowns in their first 60 starts. This is the list. This is all it is. Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, Dan Marino, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson. Those 5 quarterbacks are the only ones in NFL history to do that in their first 60 starts. So, seems like he might be a little more than just a running quarterback. Yes, mic drop for sure. All right, let's transition now to our new segment here. Best non-MVP seasons, like Spinny said. We're going to just talk about this given the ridiculous seasons Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic are having this year. To give you numbers here, Jokic is averaging a triple-double. A center is averaging a triple-double, 24, 12, and 10. on 63% shooting, 70% true shooting, 31 player efficiency rating, leads the NBA, 12.6 win shares so far this season, which also leads the NBA. Embiid, 33, 10, and 4 on 65% true shooting. Like, are you kidding me? A 7-foot center being that efficient and scoring that much? Absolutely insane. 9.4 win share. Giannis, he's obviously having a great season in his own right. 31, 12, and 5 on 60% true shooting, 7.1 win share. So, yeah, we're already looking like we're going to get possibly one of the best seasons in NBA history from a non-MVP. So, with that being said, Spinny, what was one year that stood out to you?
First, I can't even talk. My first example here is in what is my opinion the first real case of voter fatigue in the history of the NBA MVP award, and that was 1972-73 season. Dave Cowens of the 68-14 Boston Celtics won the MVP. The person I think should have won the MVP that year played on a 60-22, so it's still a 60-win team, Milwaukee Bucks, and that is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Dave Cowens averaged 20, 16, and 4. Great season, obviously. Nothing to be taken away from him. Kareem averaged 30, 16, and 5, though. So essentially the same, a whole nother assist plus 10 more points per game. And it's not like the Bucks were slouches. The Bucks had the second best record in the NBA. So it's not like we're talking about, anything crazy happening right now. At that time, the MVP was player voted. And a lot of what is believed to happen is the players really wanted to reward a team at that time who was the second most wins in regular season history. So I think it was rewarding the best player on that team, who was Dave Cowens. And Kareem had won the 70-71 and the 71-72 MVP awards. So this would have been a 3 in a row for Kareem. Something just like current day, we see Jokic not being given this same voter fatigue we've seen a lot, but this was a situation with Kareem where it would have been a three-peat. They took that away from him, in my opinion, and went with Cowens. So I get the metrics that we're taking into account, but I just think 10 more points a game, same rebounds, 1 more assists on the second best team in the NBA is better.
Yeah, advanced analytics wise in today's era, Kareem would have won that MVP, no doubt about it. That's obviously more emphasized now. I'm also going to throw out an old one like that, and this one I definitely think the second place finisher should have won MVP. At 61-62, MVP was Bill Russell, who averaged, obviously, again, not taking anything away from these MVPs. And a couple of my later examples, I'm sticking with MVP, but this one is incredible to me. 19 points, 24 rebounds a game, 5 blocks a game, or 5 assists a game for Bill Russell, 46% shooting, 15.5 win shares. His team went 60-20. They only played 80 games back then. Wilt Chamberlain. This is Wilt's year when he averaged 50 points a game, 26 rebounds a game, and 2 assists a game on 51% shooting and 23 win shares. 49-31 was his record. So he had 31 more points per game than Bill Russell. 31. He had 2 more rebounds per game. The only thing Bill had better than him was assists. Wilt shot a higher percentage. He scored more and shot a higher percentage. That shouldn't be happening.
You don't think the guy who averaged 50 points a game should have won the MVP?
That's what I'm saying.
Nah.
We're done. We're done talking about this. It's ridiculous. 50 points a game, analytically wise, obviously it's the 60s. We know that. But this is the best season we've seen from a non-MVP. 50 points per game and you didn't win MVP? Like, come on.
Like, what else? That is the biggest case of what else do you want me to do? What else do you want me to do?
Interesting stat I saw. I didn't write it down, but I saw that Wilt's stats adjusted to today's pace. He actually goes backwards in points, and it was like 39 points per game or something. So his adjusted stats would still be the most points per game scored in NBA history in a season. Not MVP though. It wasn't MVP.
No.
All right, Fetty, what's another one you got?
Another one I got is 2005, 2006. This is a very classic one that has gone to a lot. Steve Nash
Absolutely.
winning the MVP there, 54 wins.
Was that his second one or first one?
This was his second one, I believe. Yes. Right? Because I think it was 04, 05. Check on that for me, Bus. But
Yep.
I believe this was his second one. Nash, again, averaged 18.8 points, 10.5 assists, compared to Kobe Bryant's 35 points, 5.3 assists, and 4.5 rebounds. Obviously, the big difference.
This was his first one.
This was his first one. Okay.
Yep. 05, 06 were the 2 years he won.
Okay. So obviously the Suns had 54 wins, the Lakers had 45. I do want to just say that having your second best scorer be Lamar Odom with 14 and then Smush Parker with 11.5. Those are your next two best guys in your team. In my humble
What do you
opinion,
mean, dude? Smush? Put some respect on Smush's name, bro.
In my humble opinion, getting a team like that to 45 wins is pretty darn impressive. Now, I understand arguments against that. Also, though, this guy we might know named LeBron James, as a 21-year-old, was averaging 31, 7, and 6.6 on his team that won 50 games. So we're talking about modern NBA, almost 13 more points per game, way more rebounds, and Nash had 4 more assists. Obviously, that was his thing. And the Cavs won 4 less games, 4 than the Suns. I would love to entertain you with the Cavaliers roster from that year. LeBron's second leading scorer was Zydrunas Ilgauskas, 15.6, and then Larry Hughes, 15.5. Next to 13.5, Ronald Murray, and 10.7, Drew Gooden. Those are the guys. Those are the guys we're talking about on a team that LeBron won 50 games with. I would have put Nash third, maybe even fourth, given the 60-win Dallas Mavericks. 60 wins for the Dallas Mavericks this year.
He was like 27-9 average or something, I think.
Yeah, 26, 9, and 3 for Dirk. Obviously had Jason Terry, Jerry Stackhouse, Josh Howard on those teams, but yeah. So 4 guys of those, Nash is either third or fourth on that list, in my opinion, and he won the MVP. So that's a Kobe snub and a LeBron snub at the same time from Steve Nash,
and a potential Dirk snub. That's ridiculous. That's insane. My second one, 93-94 MVP, went to Hakeem. He averaged 27, 12, and 4 assists, that is. 1.6 steals per game, a staggering 3.7 blocks per game. 53% shooting, 14 win share. His team went 58-24. But you could have also potentially gave the MVP second place finisher David Robinson. His team went 55-27, only 3 less wins, and he averaged 30 points per game, 11 rebounds per game, 5 assists, 1.7 steals, and 3.3 blocks per game. So pretty similar numbers between the two. 20 win shares. So he had 6 more win shares than Hakeem, more points, same rebounds, pretty much the same everywhere else. So this was definitely a true toss-up, and I would have not wanted to be an MVP voter that year, knowing that you would have only give it to one.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Do you think the MVP should be a co-award in a situation like this, or is it always just gonna? Should it always just
pick one? You gotta pick one.
That's what I think too.
I mean, unless the votes come out exactly identical, then
Right.
I could have a conversation, but that'd be the only way. I think this was more of a case of who is regarded as the best player, like the better player at the time. I think pretty much everyone thought Hakeem was slightly better than David Robinson pretty much his whole career. So that's probably, like, to put my head back when the voters were voting, that's probably something that was at least taken into consideration.
David Robinson did end up winning the MVP the next season. So he got his at least at some point. Do you have any more? Otherwise, I'm going to shout out one more real quick before we.
Yeah, shout one more. I'm out.
That's 08-09. MVP went to LeBron. I mean, his team went 66-16. His numbers are ridiculous.
You're taking one away from LeBron James?
I
That's
didn't
what
take
you're telling me?
Just like this last guy. I didn't take the MVP away from Hakeem. I'm not taking it away from LeBron. His team went 66-16. He led the NBA in win shares, player efficiency. I think even there was something else that he led the NBA in. He had 1.7 steals per game, 1.1 blocks, so over 1 for each for LeBron. 28, 7, and 8 was his average that year. But D Wade, incredible season. The only reason why he didn't get more votes is because his team only went 43-39, only 4 games over 500. But he averaged 30 points, 7.5 assists, 5 rebounds, 2.2 steals per game, and 1.3 blocks. We're talking a 6'4" guard averaging 1.3 blocks per game on 49% shooting. And he was second in the NBA in player efficiency at 30.4. So that was also a ridiculous season that I definitely had a shout out because D Wade's one of my boys.
D Wade might be the best, is the best guard at blocking that I've ever seen. Like best shot blocking guard I've ever seen. Absolutely craziness from him on that. I always loved watching that crap. Also, can we just talk about for a second? I don't mean to be this guy. I actually really hate being this guy. But LeBron 2000, 2008, 2009, 66 wins. Second leading scorer on his team was Mo Williams at 17.8, and then Augustus at 12.9. 66 wins. Didn't have another scorer that scored 18 a game or more. 66 wins. All right.
Ridiculous.
Just wanted to shout out Mo Williams, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, and Delonte West as your second, third, and fourth best players on a 66 win team.
Yeah. Okay. Ridiculous.
Sweet.
Anyways, though, Spinny, you know what time it is now?
It's this time.
Okay.
Oop. Sorry, I didn't hear those.
Sorry, it automatically replays. Lame, but we love the music. Spinny, I'm going to ask you first since I am the current leader in points. I'm going to keep reminding you that until you catch me. Easy question here. True or false?
Fetty shot.
The Bruins are on pace for 64 wins. This would set a record for most wins in an NHL season.
True.
It is true. The record, do you know the record or no?
No.
The record is 62 wins set by the 95-96 Red Wings and also the 18-19 Tampa Bay Lightning. So on pace for NHL record this year.
Bruins going crazy. Okay, there is 2 guys in the NBA that are 150 points ahead of third place on the list for most points in this season scored in the NBA. Wow, that was a horrible question, Reed. NBA points scored by NBA players this season. The top 2 are 150 points above third place. Number 1 is Jason Tatum with 1881. Who is number 2? Only 2 points behind him.
Luka?
Yes.
Embiid's third?
No, SGA is third.
I know Embiid's missed some games, so he's a little lower on the totals. Oh, thank God I got that. I wasn't very confident in that Luka answer, honestly. Okay, my medium question. DJ Turner ran a 4.2640 this year. 4.26. That is tied for 5th all time. Who ran the fastest 40 in combine history, and what time was it? 1 point for each.
Chris Johnson, 4.22.
Got 1 point. 4.22 is the correct time. It was John Ross.
Oh.
Chris Johnson's second fastest time.
That's tough.
You got 1 point, though.
All right. How many more wins would it take for the Denver Nuggets, with their current win total, to pass the amount of wins they had last year?
Wow, that's so vague. You're going to make me try to think of their record right now at this moment?
Yep.
Dude, that's
they need this many more wins to pass their win total from last year.
And this isn't a trick question. They're not already tied with their record.
No. It's not a trick question.
Okay. I think they are this record right now. Play 82 games. It means they would have had to pass it, not to tie it, correct?
To pass it.
I'm saying 4 wins.
The answer is 3 wins. Very close.
This is just
Very
a cool
close.
question.
Very
just
close.
A sweet question.
That was good. Good math.
They won.
They
won 48 games.
Yeah, last year they won 48 games.
I thought it was 49.
That's tough,
You're such a rat for that question.
Why? That was a great question.
All right, whatever. Okay. I haven't really decided how I want you to answer this question. Maybe I'll let you pick. But only 2 players in the MLB last year played all 162 games.
Okay.
So either give me one guy. We can do it that way, where you just have to name one of the 2 for all 3 points. Or we could split it up even more to name both players and the team, because they were on the same team.
I have no idea. I'm never going to get this. There's no chance I get this. Do I know these players?
Yes. You know both of them.
Do I?
Yes, you do.
And so they're position players.
If you don't know these MLB players, that's why you suck at fantasy baseball.
They're position players.
Position players. There's a hint. Only 2, actually, and there's only 17 active players to have played 162 games in a season.
I can't even, no one even comes to mind.
That's why I was saying maybe we have the team be a point. You could name a team at least, throw out in it.
All right, I'll do 2 for my guess and 1 for the team. Is that fair? And then I'll give you the 2-1 on mine for the similar on my hard question.
Okay, that works.
The team is the Rays, and I'm going to say Wander Franco.
Definitely not Wander Franco. He missed 2 months last year. It's the Braves. Any idea on the Braves?
No.
Shortstop Dansby Swanson played all 162 games. First baseman Matt Olson played all 162 games.
All right, yeah, I know those guys. Yep, for sure.
They're really good.
Yeah. That was a good question. Okay.
All right, last question. You're up 2-1.
What is the name of the player to have the most blocks in an NBA game in history, and how many? 1 point for how many? 2 points for the name.
Man, I've seen this before.
His first name is a small town in Minnesota, I will say.
Well, there goes my my Mutombo answer. Wow, first town. Man,
I'll give you a bonus point too if you can get the year.
I'm not going to get the year. I'm going to say, it was in the 80s probably, or the 90s. Maybe even earlier. I don't know. It was 15 blocks. No. 17 blocks by Mark Eaton.
Final?
Final.
You want to guess a year?
And 78. God, I don't remember when Eaton played.
You got 1 point. It is 17 blocks. So you did tie it up right there.
It's not Eaton, though.
It's not Eaton. It's 1973, and the man's name is Elmore Smith.
Elmore Smith?
Elmore
Man,
Smith.
I don't know if I've even heard of that dude. Thought for
Again-
sure it was like Mark Eaton or Mutombo or one of those dudes. Is who I thought it would have been.
Lakers against Portland. He played 48 minutes. He had 12 points, 16 rebounds, and 17 blocks. Second's a three-way tie with Shaq and Manute Bol twice.
That's ridiculous. 17 blocks. What?
17
That's
blocks.
so many.
And he also had a triple-double in that game.
Well, I think we just have to tie. I honestly did not really expect a tie today. I have no tiebreaker ready.
Should we do a cold call?
That's what I was saying. Like I didn't tell anybody to
I
be
didn't
ready
either.
for a call.
I didn't either. Should we cold call live on Hard Headed?
It's gonna have to be somebody that you know would answer.
Ooh, man, that I know would answer. That's
Forbes?
hard.
It's Forbes?
I feel like Forbes is at work.
Probably.
So that's why I was out on him. I was thinking Gio, but I don't know if it's late enough in the day yet. We're gonna try Gio. Hold up, Hardies and Hardos. We will let you know momentarily. Meanwhile, Jack will tell you a joke.
A joke? Yeah, I don't got no jokes.
Yeah, you got a
I don't have no
joke.
jokes.
You got a joke.
All right. Here's my joke. Spinny. You get it? Get it? You get it?
Yeah. No answer. All right.
Telling you, we gotta take
We
a
got
tie.
one. No ties. No ties on Hardhead anymore.
You can't come up with the question.
I'm not. Hold on. We're recruiting.
Oh, the fiance. Get her in here.
Hey, Mariah. Could you come assist us live, please?
She says.
I just need a trivia question from you.
Get over here, Mariah.
Yeah.
We need you. We need your expertise.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta
Get
make
on
an
over
appearance.
here.
Come on.
I'm wearing my dad's shirt.
Can we hear Mariah? Can we hear her?
We can.
Okay, so you can just talk from over there if you'd like. I just need a question. Come up with it. Anything about sports at all in any way.
Preferably
like sports.
Preferably pretty easy. Like
yeah, decently easy.
Gotta be some,
like not,
yeah, it's gotta
not
be something one of us. Yeah.
Yep.
Something one of us will get.
Who won the NCAA for volleyball last year?
Oh, this is a cute question, man.
All right, no volleyball questions.
What?
I know the answer to this. No volleyball questions. It's kind of unfair. Let's be real.
You said any question.
You're right, but like.
True.
Okay. How easy?
You can ask the very similar question for a different sport. The one you just asked was kind of good. I just want to make it a sport that's even.
Who won the hockey cup last year?
Ooh. Our hockey fans are hating us right now.
I know.
The Lightning lost. It wasn't them. They
No,
lost.
yeah, but is she talking college or
No,
pros?
NHL.
Avalanche? Abs.
Is it the Avalanche? It's not the Avalanche?
I have no idea. I really have no idea.
I don't know.
I think it's Winnipeg.
Hold on. It was the Avalanche. It was the Avalanche. All right,
I was like,
you got it.
the streak continues.
Thank
you, Mariah. You're the best. The streak continues, Spinny. Down you go once again.
You're just taking a tie.
Yeah, I was
Honestly,
advocating for it.
Losing is better than tying, in my opinion. I'm just telling you my opinion.
I don't know. One counts as a loss, the other doesn't. So
True, I know it doesn't really make sense, but in my head, that's how it is.
all right, fair enough. Let's finish off this episode here, the Toy Hunter episode, with some combine talk. Risers and fallers is how we're going to talk about this. Guys that have improved their stock based on what they did with combine, and those that have hurt it. So, Spinny, who's one of your risers after the combine?
This is the most obvious one. I just wanted to highlight this guy because he's amazing. Mr.
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
4'4", 340, Mr. 40.5-inch Michael Jordan-ass vertical, Mr. 10-foot 9-inch broad jump. Just for a couple comparisons, Bijan Robinson, 4'4", 640, 37.5-inch vert, 10.7 broad jump. So Richardson beat him in every one of those categories. Another guy he's getting some comparisons with as far as quarterbacks go from previous, Josh Allen, 40 time 4.75, 33.5-inch vertical, and a 9.11 broad jump.
Do you happen to have the Cam Newton stats?
I don't have the Cam Newton stats.
That's who I'd be interested to hear.
But yes, Richardson, obviously, given his insane athletic ability, has climbed up the draft boards. So that's why he's one of my biggest risers, just his crazy athletic ability. And I think Josh Allen, because the big concern with Richardson is completion percentage, right? 58% last year, didn't even throw that many passes. But Josh Allen has really made a way for 58% completion percentage quarterbacks that guys are taking a chance on now, more higher, especially because he turned out to be that it worked. Now, in my opinion, Allen is probably the outlier, not the rule. So there's going to be a lot of bust draft picks coming off of him. But if Richardson can get his mechanics and his short and medium accuracy figured out, he's really got a shot to be good because we're talking insane athleticism.
Ridiculous. Almost a 4.4 flat 40 from a quarterback. Like, at his size, like, this dude's Derrick Henry size and weight here. Like, ridiculous. Absolutely insane.
Absolutely insane.
One of my guys, though, is Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback out of Mississippi State. He was anywhere from – go ahead.
I'm sorry. Can I just give Cam Newton's really quick?
Yes.
4.6 40, 35-inch vertical, 10.6 broad jump. Again, all absolutely destroyed. Cam also is only about 5 pounds lighter. 5 pounds heavier. So he was 6'5", 248, and Richardson was 6'4", 244. So we're talking about 4 pounds heavier, essentially, for Newton than Richardson. Very, very similar body types. And he was even faster and stronger than him. So craziness.
Ridiculous. Generational athlete, honestly. Cornerback Emmanuel Forbes, though, from Mississippi State. He was anywhere from a late second to early third projection. And now he is sliding into the first round, now late first after his combine showing, mainly highlighted from his 4.35 40. I mean, this guy's got burners out there. That'd be second fastest for wide receivers. There was only one wide receiver who ran a faster 40 than him. And he went from 8th to 12th ranked cornerback to now top 5. So, Spinny, I don't think either of us had him in our first round too early mock draft, but this is a dude that both of us will likely have at the end of the first round. So, Emmanuel Forbes, a name to watch out for.
Agreed. My second name to watch out for is Blake Freeland, tackle from BYU, 6'8", 300. He absolutely killed the combine. Anywhere from a 4.98 to a 5 flat 40. A lot of different numbers coming out on that for some weird reason. 37-inch vertical jump, though, for 6'8", 300. That's nutty to me. And a 10-foot broad jump. Absolutely crazy. You said one of those was a record, right?
Yeah, the 37-inch vertical was a record for tackles at the combine.
Yeah, absolutely crazy athleticism from him. He also allowed 0 sacks in 2022 playing as a left tackle. So also college tape production from him. Really good blocker at arm's length. Really reads spin and different pass rush move techniques well. Keeps himself back on those type of situations. So very good potential from him. And I've seen mocks having him in the high second. I've seen rumors about him potentially being one of those random guys that sneaks up into the first round. So huge climber here for Blake Freeland.
Yeah, I'm with you on Blake Freeland for sure. Last two guys I want to shout out for risers would be Jackson Smith and Jigba. From everything I've seen, he's all but solidified being the favorite wide receiver in this draft. Basically, everybody now has him as their first receiver taken off the board. And I know Spinny in a little bit here will allude to a guy that may have fallen a little bit in the receiving group. Another guy would be Nolan Smith, edge rusher from Georgia. He's been all around the first round, so he's never like really fell out of the first round. But he has only solidified his spot as a first round draft pick after the combine. Ridiculous numbers here, a 4.39 40 is the edge rusher, keep in mind. A ridiculous 10-yard split at 1.52, 41.5-inch vertical, and 10 feet 8 inches broad jump. So ridiculous athlete. Their only question, he was only falling a little bit. He went anywhere from pick 10 to all the way late first because of his size. He's a little smaller in the weight and height categories. But, I mean, that athleticism is there and has only solidified him as a first-round pick. So those are two more risers from the combine. Spinny, yes. Who's your first faller?
One of my we're going to jump to fallers right now, guys that are moving down a touchy. Mine is wide receiver USC Jordan Addison. Exactly. He ran a 4.49, 40, 34-inch vertical jump, 10.2 broad jump. Again, I just see too much good tape of Jordan Addison of getting separation from receivers from corners. That really I like him, but this fall to me might be good for one of our hometown teams. I think if Addison can fall to us in that early 20s of the first round, like, I don't know, you give this guy Justin Jefferson, you give this guy separation, like, he's never getting doubled. He's going to have tons of opening room, and a quarterback in Kirk who throws an accurate ball most of the time and really gives you a catchable situation in our offense, especially given the very sad likely departure of Adam Thielen. We really, really need a WR2.
You don't even have to say likely at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty much a done deal. Like, it hasn't been official.
Announced.
It wasn't announced by the team.
No. Oh, well, I saw NFL was tweeting it
Yes,
themselves.
it was announced by Kevin Seifert, who's the ESPN reporter for the Vikes. So, like, it's pretty much announced, but yeah. So, anyways, I don't know if KJ Osborne showed us that he was really the guy to be that WR2 last year, and we just need more depth, period, at the wide receiver position. And the free agent wide receiver market this year, big reason why Thielen is leaving is the free agent wide receiver market is really, really thin. So he's likely
there's nobody.
So he's likely to probably get paid. But again, this fall from Jordan Addison, likely given some of the not as good as combine numbers as was wanted. But sometimes we know that doesn't matter as well. I think that
this is it's just a test of athleticism, essentially.
Literally. And especially the wide receiver position is much more about route running and getting open, providing space for your quarterback to find. And I think Addison does a good job of that. So I'm a little excited.
No, I agree. I would also say he maybe only quote unquote fell just because of Jackson Smith's showing at the combine. Yeah. So not really something not that he performed poorly, but that others performed a little better than him. That's why he fell a little bit, Jordan Addison. My first faller is also wide receiver. He's fallen a lot, this man. He was anywhere from a late first, early second, and now I'm seeing him third round, possibly even later. And that is Kayshon Boutte, wide receiver out of LSU. He self-proclaimed himself as the best receiver in this class and then went to the combine and had an absolutely brutal showing. Spinny, we're talking this man had I don't even want to say it. It's embarrassing to say. He had a 28-inch vertical. That is it. 28. You want to know what percentile that was for wide receivers? The second percentile. Almost everybody in the wide receiver class that's in this draft class had a higher vertical than him. Second percentile.
Yeah.
We're talking Blake Freeland, 300-6'7", 300-pound lineman is out here jumping 37-inch vertical. and Keishawn Butte only has a 28-inch vertical. Not to mention his broad jump was in the 32nd percentile, and his 40 was a 4.67. So, yes, absolutely terrible showing by Keishawn Butte from apparently the self-proclaimed best receiver in the class.
Yeah, that is crazy. My last faller is a running back I've really liked this season, and we've talked about a lot
Your
of his
man's.
pod.
Your
My
man's.
man, Mr. 5'5", running back Deuce Vaughn from Kansas State. I love this guy. He didn't run at the combine, so I don't have a speed stat on him, but 35.5-inch vertical, 17 reps at 225, which is pretty decent for his size, and a 9.8 broad jump. My big thing with him is he was projected up as high as like a third-round pick, maybe especially earlier in the college football season. And now we're looking at a very likely day 3 guy. A lot of projections have him in the 5th and 6th round. Here's my sell on Deuce Vaughn. Darren Sproles, 5'6", 187. Same build, same. Sproles is more of a receiver, obviously. Vaughn is he is a great receiver, but he's also still a downhill runner. And obviously in the NFL, they worry about size and taking that. Also, Jacquizz Rodgers, good comparison for an NFL player. I think Deuce Vaughn could be. Jacquizz Rodgers probably the floor level. Darren Sproles probably the high level. But I love his competitiveness. I love his ability to do everything. And I love the mentality. Like, I don't know. I just have faith in this guy being successful in the NFL. So I think we're gonna hear about him in a couple years as one of those late picks that turns out to be a really good guy. Will he ever get that like starting running back money type situation? No, because of his size and limitations. But I really truly believe he will have a James White, Danny Woodhead, Darren Sproles role on a team and be effective.
For sure. Jerick McKinnon, I know he's like 5'8". He might be a little bigger than him, but like that change of pace role. I definitely see that from Deuce Vaughn. He's explosive, so he could definitely still be good in the NFL for sure. My last faller, this is another one, kind of like Jordan Addison, is only falling due to the guys around him performing better, not that he performed bad, and that is Will Levis, quarterback. His odds I saw for being the first QB taken was as high as like plus 600, and now it's only plus 1,300. So everyone's pretty much envisioning him being the 4th quarterback taken, as Stroud and Young really showed what they're made of in the passing segment of the combine. And then obviously, like you said earlier, the Richardson athleticism is just insane, and likely why he has separated himself from Levis as well. So Levis is falling, but like I said, due to others performing well and not necessarily him performing bad.
And I want to say this too. I don't give 2 craps about what the passing at the combine looks like. They're sitting with no rushers throwing, like, they throw really cool balls and some of it's impressive. I'm not like hating on you for saying that. This is one of my pet peeves is when people really focus on the passing at the combine, and it's like, watch the damn tape. That's where you see what they do under pressure, when they're reading, what their passing looks like, how you see how their accuracy looks. I pay attention to that way more than the combine. Like you said, the combine is an athletic test, and I love it for seeing athleticism of players. But passing and like actual doing activities at the combine is very little value in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I still definitely value the game tape more than what you see at the combine. That's for sure. Well, Spinny, do you have any other comments? Otherwise, I'm going to give you a quick Q&A question, and we'll get our viewers out of here.
Let's do it. 58 seconds. Go.
Q&A. Very simple. Where do you want to see Adam Thielen end up next year?
Ooh, that's really tough.
I want to see him on a contender.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Kansas City, right? That would be sweet. But is he gonna take less to go there? He's probably gonna get paid by somebody somewhere, right? I don't know.
Isn't Juju a free agent, or was he a 2-year deal guy?
I think he is a free agent.
Yeah, I thought so too. So KC is maybe in the run for him. I would like to see him go there, obviously, because it'd just be fun to see him catch balls.
I think Buffalo's an option too. They love his type of guy, and they don't really have somebody. I think that's a good option. Like a likely option we could see.
Play with Diggs. Reunited with
Yeah.
Diggs. Yeah.
Little Diggs, Thielen combo in Buffalo. That'd be fun to see. All right, 5 seconds. Hardies and Hardos. Hug your friends and family, and we love you.
Toy Hunter episode. We love y'all.